Good day everybody, this is Peter from Tales Productions and welcome back to Star Trek Online. This is on a free-to-play account playing through the story of a 23rd century Starfleet officer, and we have just completed the Cardassian struggle storyline. So this episode will be a very short one, I apologise if that's a problem, but it'll just be a quick review of my thoughts of the Cardassian struggle, how it went, what I felt of the storyline, that kind of thing. And then I'll do a tiny little bit of housekeeping, but there really isn't a huge amount to do. I have hit level 65, and so therefore not a huge amount of differences in as I sort of progress through the game now. So yeah, let's get on straight with a quick review of the Cardassian struggle. So first thing, I always talk about the storyline first. So I've obviously played through the Klingon War, Wasteland, and Romulan Mystery. And Romulan Mystery, I think I said at the time, definitely my favourite one. I think storyline-wise, Cardassian struggle has to be split into two parts, because basically the new link is the end of like the first story, and then second wave starts the second story, and they are completely different, even though they are sort of about the Cardassian region and the DS9 storyline. They set in the same place, I guess you could say, but they are completely different storylines. They're not linked in any way, even though they're about similar things or similar people. But I think they have to be treated as two different storylines. And if we were just going to go on storyline, I think we have to take into account that I have a slight bias towards DS9 because that's my favourite series of the Star Trek franchise. So I think it'll be no surprise to anybody that if we're just basing everything on the storyline, the Cardassian struggle would be my new favourite. Is that a big shock? I'm not sure. I think I've been very open about how much I've enjoyed the storyline in each episode. So if you've watched the full playthrough, then you'll probably have seen that coming. The storyline has been really good, and I found it very interesting because of my link to DS9 anyway. So yeah, the first half and the second half, both very strong storyline-wise, I think. So the first half was the storyline. Obviously, it had the Terrans from the Mirror Universe linking with the True Way, stealing an orb. You had to go in Jabberwocky. You then went back, or you went over to the Mirror Universe to bring it back, which was really cool. You got to see, was it Hathon? Yeah, Hathon from two different sides, like the Mirror version and this version is really cool. I really liked it. And then the new link, you got to see an actual link. You got to go onto a founder-ish planet and see the new link. That was cool. I really enjoyed that. Really good. And then the second half, with the old Dominion fleet that was just randomly lost in the wormhole in one of the DS9 episodes, comes back, takes over DS9. That's cool. Now, I said partway through this that I feel like they're wrapping up a lot of storylines from DS9, and that's a really good thing. But it does also open up a few different questions, because like the fleet got lost in the wormhole because the Prophets took them as such and stopped them going through because Ben Sisko asked them to, essentially. So why did the Prophets now bring them back just to crash a conference about the Borg? Oh, and that was another good thing. Alright, storyline wise, incredible. I think both parts were really good. Cardassian struggle was probably the strongest one, I think, now. My favourite. Then, one thing I would like to bring up now that I haven't mentioned before is voice acting. The only thing I've said about voice acting before, I think, is that it's a little bit jarring and disappointing when there's sort of missing sections from monologues. So let's say there's a block of text and the first two paragraphs are voiced and then the next one isn't. That's always really weird. Or even in this case, I think in the Cardassian struggle a couple of times, it was the first two weren't voiced. So when she started talking, I thought she was just reading something completely random and it was not linked to it at all. But I think generally in the Cardassian struggle, the voice acting was more filled out, more fleshed out, and it was generally better. I mean, maybe that's just because I'm doing this now after the Victory's Life expansion has come out, and a lot of the actual actors from DS9 have gone back into this storyline and redone some of it. And the actual voice acting that they provided is much better, but also some of the other characters that haven't been redone, I think were very strong, really well voiced. So I think the voice acting is a general improvement in the Cardassian struggle, even though there were still missing parts that were slightly jarring. But I mentioned this in each episode as I went through, so I'm really sorry if the negativity of that is bad for people or you don't like it. But I do need to reiterate that there were a couple of points where that going back with the new actors, or sorry, the actors from the old show, and going back and redoing some of this old storyline with them, was really good and great, but it failed because of I don't know. I don't know. Is it bad programming? Is it just bad testing? I'm not sure. But some voices weren't stopped, so the old voice lines were in the background and the new voice line was over the top of it, so both were reading at the same time. That happened twice in cinematics as such. And then different people being mentioned in texts when, say, for instance, Wayoon, that's the example I've got because it happened 2 episodes ago. But Wayoon is now a character in this, whereas he wasn't before because they didn't have the voice actor, so they couldn't use him. And I don't get that, because wasn't that the last Wayoon that died at the end of DS9? But I don't know. So he was back in it, and he obviously overwrote another character called Eruan or something like that, because his name appeared in all the text, but obviously it wasn't him, it was Wayoon that was actually the one they were talking about. So tiny little things, and again, I always say it, I hate saying it now, it is making me feel like I'm negative about it, but it is the polish and the testing and making sure everything's right that just doesn't seem complete, and again wasn't complete with this. And that, I think, is even more important in this because it's so new and fresh. Like, I could write off the other stuff thinking, well, it was done like 8 years ago. I mean, fair enough, it was bad polish back then, but they've improved recently. But this is the latest thing they've released, and again, there's some fairly bad polish going on, and that's not a good sign for what's currently being developed. But I would still put the Cardassian struggle as a very, very good storyline, and as far as mechanics go, gameplay mechanics that are in the game, I think the Cardassian struggle shows off a lot of sort of newish ones, or ones that I hadn't seen before, or even ones that I had seen before but being redone in a different way. I think that was good as well. It showed off the shuttle experience as well. So the Vault from the Romulan mission was one of my favourite episodes. They did something very similar in the Cardassian struggle. Very enjoyable. And Facility 4028, incredible mission. I love that. The facility, basically the prison that you go to, really well done, really well created. Whoever designed that facility deserves a pay rise. I think that was all really great. You got to see a few of the people you'd put in prison. You got to fight another Undine, which I think is always good. I hope they come into it a bit more later on. But yeah, I would put storyline as the top, polish as still bad, voice acting as the top. I think that's definitely improved. In fact, I've just played through the Gamma Quadrant Jem'Hadar storyline. That's on another playthrough on this channel that you can go and watch as well. But the voice acting in that is just perfection. So I can't say that Cardassian Struggle has the best voice acting, because it will never beat the Gamma Quadrant storyline, but this is a second, I would say. This is the next favourite as far as voice acting goes. And other than that, I want to mention difficulty. I don't think I've mentioned difficulty in any of the others, but it really sort of came to becoming obvious in the Cardassian struggle, and it was only obvious in the way that it's sort of balanced and perfect. I think in all the others I have mentioned difficulty in saying that it was too easy because I was progressing faster. So like I'm level 65 now and this is created for a level 35, but because I'm already in sort of my ship and it's not getting hugely better every episode, it seems to have balanced out, and the difficulty's about right. It's very well done, I'd say. A few missions that I died in that I just didn't react quick enough, but none that I'd say were because of a bug. So yeah, I'm very happy with the difficulty as well. I think altogether very well polished, even though there's probably been 2 episodes in here that at the end I've given a fairly negative review of, but that is just because, in fact, Second Wave is the first one, and then I think Facility 4028 might have been the second one. Oh no, Operation Gamma was the second one. That I gave fairly negative reviews at the end of them, but that was just because of the polish and the way the voice acting was overlapping, and that's generally bad. But everything else about it I think was really good. Really strong, a massive fan. It can go into the list of the good ones, I think. Yeah. So I think that's all I've got to say about the Cardassian struggle. Maybe if you guys have your opinions, you could let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you think I'm wrong. If you played through it recently, is there anything differently that happened for you that you didn't see me get through or do? Anything like that, let me know. And now I'm going to be moving on to a little bit of just housekeeping. So the first thing I want to do is, again, probably get a little bit of feedback from you guys. I'm considering getting rid of the pilot specialization. So I've put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, well, it's 5 per tier, obviously, I can tell. 10. So I've put 11 points into it so far. And I want to stop doing that because I'm getting down to this point here and just realizing it's not really for my kind of character, I think. So let me know if you think I'm wrong or right with that. I don't think this is right for me. I think I probably want to be going for Miracle Worker instead, and I might even change from Commando. I haven't looked into that yet, actually. Ooh, Temporal Operative. Why would I not use Temporal Operative? That seems like a good idea. Okay, so I'm going to look through these, but either way, I'm going to save up my specialization points a little bit now until I get some feedback from you guys. So what I'm thinking, instead of Pilot and Commando, I'm going to go to Miracle Worker and possibly Temporal Operative, maybe staying as Commander. I haven't decided on the secondary yet. So let me know your opinions. I would really enjoy some feedback. I'm going to be talking to you guys in the comments anyway, so I'll probably ask you this question before you see this video. But any feedback on that would be much appreciated. I've also had a little bit of feedback from you guys about my current build and setup and how this is a little bit too many beams, possibly. And the amount it's draining my power with every sort of volley or salvo is meaning the amount of damage I do with the next lot is very little. And I totally get that. I understand. I've just realised I got rid of an engineering console and probably sold it. I did. Well, nice stupid. But that's fine. So I get the energy problems, but I haven't faced any problems really so far. And I think the number of skills I've got that increase energy and stuff, I think I'm going to stick with it for now. Maybe just because I really enjoy the beams. But I could change a couple to turrets like was mentioned, because these drain 10 energy and they only drain 8, or I could put a torpedo on the front maybe and mines on the back, something like that. I mean, there are a few options that I'll consider. For now I'm going to leave it as it is, but again, if anybody feels particularly passionate about that, please let me know. The only other thing I really want to do as far as housekeeping goes, like I said, a very short episode, but I would like to check out this new ship that I can get. So get a new starship. Right, so let's go to, it's a Vice Admiral one. Yeah, okay, so it is this one. So I have a Vice Admiral Starship Requisition token, so I can get the Exploration Cruiser refit. Now, I think the consoles there are the same as the one I've already got. Let's quickly bring that up, actually. I'll have these next to each other. That's you. The consoles are 4, 2, 3. Oh, it's actually the other way around. So there's 2 tactical, 3 science. And the stations 2, 2, 1 on here is actually 1, 3, 1. So it'll be 1 engineer extra and 1 less tactical. What ranks are they though? That's a lieutenant. What do I currently have? How do I see? Oh, is these? Yeah, it's the pips are showing me. That's fine. Yeah, lieutenant, cadet. Oh, that says it's lieutenant, even though it's only 1 pip, and that says 2 there. Because this is a 23rd century one. Oh, possibly. I don't know. All right. Either way, so that's commander. That's lieutenant commander. That's commander. Okay. Lieutenant commander. So it's an extra ensign. I still get the lieutenant tactical, and I don't really use the cadet one of those, so that wouldn't be a terrible trade-off. And it's still a lieutenant science, and that's a lieutenant science, so that would stay the same. I don't think that's too bad. Yeah, I think that's fine. It doesn't say... Oh, it does say aft weapons and 4 weapons, 4 and 4. Yeah, I might just get that. So I was considering if I'm only going to use this for the Admiralty system, then do I really need another cruiser? Should I be going for something different? I think that's a fair question. That is still a fair question. So my ship roster right now is heavily, very heavily cruiserified. So maybe I just want to be taking something different and not using it. But I might use it actually. So no, I am going to take a cruiser, because I think, again, I think I'm right in saying this. I might be totally wrong, but I think these can be upgraded at some point in the future. So I can get a, what is it, a tier 5? Yeah, tier 5. And then I can upgrade that to a tier 5V or something someone said. I don't know. Oh, ooh, ooh. So I had a standard Galaxy before. I think it's time to go for the Monarch. I've not had a proper sort of new style battleship type looking thing. Hey, that looks cool. Alright, okay, I'm going to go for that. Are you sure you want to buy the Exploration Cruiser retrofit? Yeah. Love to. Edna? I don't think so. What have I got? I've had Hector. Alright, I'll leave the name for now. I'll deal with that in a second. Actually, I think I just noticed. Is that gone now? I hope it isn't a bug. Yeah, okay. Alright, it's gone now. Good. I thought it was going to let me buy more. Alright, let's quickly customize. I might even equip it now and start using it. I haven't decided. Oh, I need to, don't I? Shame you can't just select which ship you're going to be changing. Okay, so Achilles, Hector, there's an obvious Troy theme here. Who was the other one? Who's the one that Helen fell in love with? Paris. I don't really want to call it Paris. Agamemnon. That's the same sort of theme, right? Yeah, but then I'd have to spell it. Let's Google and find it. Let's cheat. Agamemnon. There you go. Can I paste in here? Yeah. Agamemnon. Capital A. I'm not an animal. There you go. This is the USS Agamemnon. Alright, so there you go. Yeah, this is how you upgrade. Purchase a Starship Upgrade requisition from the Sea Store. What does that actually give you, though? Oh, it unlocks Starship Mastery, so I can't get Starship Mastery on this one. Interesting. There was one that I was getting Mastery on, wasn't there? Maybe not. Interesting. Alright then. Yeah, let's activate this one. Ready. Right, so it's transferred over a lot of my stuff. Oh, all of it. Yeah, it has transferred over all of it. They're Mark 10, so they might actually be... Yeah, let's equip those in here. Oh, there you go. It's worth it already. And everything else can stay as it is, I think. Is it worth upgrading the warp core? Yeah, actually it probably is. Well, that was the wrong place. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. But that, I think, is it. Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to replay... I was thinking... Sorry. I should probably speak my thoughts as I'm having them. But I was just thinking about changing this plasma beam array for a torpedo. But I'm not going to for now. I am going to stick with what I said. I've also just noticed console universal saucer separation. I can separate my saucer. Cool. But I could do what? It's part of a set, so I need the enhanced structural systems and reinforced shielding. And that's not what was equipped on it. So where do I... Okay, I'm going to look into that and where I get those things from. That's pretty cool. Alright, but I need to get rid of all those items. Let's see what I can do with customization now, shall we? Alright, so I've got the basic old rubbish thing. Ooh. Right, so the Andromeda you pay for, the Venture you pay for, but the Monarch is free, and that, I think, looks really cool. What would happen if I changed that for a Galaxy neck? It would look weird. Basically. Nope. Sticking with the Monarch. And the Galaxy Saucer? Nope. Galaxy Hull? Nope. They're just such different designs. I don't think there's a... Oh, actually, the Galaxy pylons don't look too bad with it. No, it's still not right. Yeah, they are just such different designs. They really don't suit having anything other with it, which is a shame. But no, I think that looks really cool. I'm going to stick with that. We're going with the Monarch. Can I just apply that? Yeah. Okay. So the USS Agamemnon, which I can't see here, but we can go up and check it out. So yeah, let's beam up to the ship. I just want to take a quick look. I think the turn speed and everything's the same. I'm sure it is. Didn't even check. I'm sure it is. There we go. This is my new Tier 5 ship. Kind of cool, right? I like it. I like it a lot. I will need to go through sort of equipping bridge officers and stuff and make sure I've got everything right with stations. Yeah, because I haven't got another engineering officer yet to put in there, but I do have a spare slot. So I'm going to go through all that off screen though. I'll do it before the start of the next episode. So just to put out what I'm going to be doing next, I will be doing yesterday's war, which will be the Vorgon conclusions, and then I'm going to be starting on Breen Invasion. I assume I have to do Vorgon conclusions actually, because I can't start this, which is a bit weird. Okay, so yeah, we'll go through that and then see what happens. But that'll be in the next episode, and then moving on and going through the whole storyline, as I said we would be doing. So that's the end of the review series for the Cardassian struggle and a little bit of housekeeping. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you are enjoying. I hope you will enjoy. But by far, the most important thing is to look forward to the next episode of Star Trek Online.